Alright, what I'm going to do next before I replace the tank is, if it leaked again, which I hope it doesn't, the water will set and seep down into this wood, mold and mildew problem again, which I want to avoid. So in these two sections here and here, I'm going to drill some holes to create airflow if needed, and I'm also going to paint the bottom of this with an oil-based paint. Alright, so now I have 4 holes here. I have 4 here. And so again, in case of the event of any water issues, instead of it sitting down, this will create a little bit of an airflow underneath the tank. Let me stop for a second and just go over the new locations before I put this in. Prior to this now being the overflow when the tank fills up, this was down here. This was at the very bottom corner, and this is the one that gave me the leaking problem. Now this one, in its new spot, was on the upper left, the fill area. This will now become my drain system for the tank itself. Alright, so now this here, this was my overflow. Since this weld looks really good, this will now be my feed . Now something a little different I'm going to do. This part here, instead of this being the fill, I will be making a fill in the top. So once the tank is installed, I'm going to, once I make sure that I've got the fill in the new location, this will be my plug that will go up into here. Alright, so let me show you what will be my new versus old tank fill. Now prior, this would come out from here, go down to this connection here. However, that only allowed me to fill the tank up to this level here. So that's, could be, a few gallons I'm losing out of a 30-gallon tank. What I'm going to do instead, this will be my plug that will go up here. And I'm going to do this type of elbow piece and run a tube down inside. That will allow me to utilize the tank to its fullest. Alright, so I'm getting ready to do a test on how I would do the winterizing for the antifreeze. And I'm going to pre-fill this just with regular water, and then set this into a container to see if that pump will draw through. Alright, so I have my switches almost ready. This one I do want off because I don't want anything going into the tank. This one I'm going to put on, and then I will it'll be alright that this tube is a little bit curved like this. I think everything I need will flow down alright in there. Let me throw this right here. Let's see how this method actually works. Alright, I guess I'll have to lift that up higher after all. A little bit of water spill, but that's alright. Now that I've got some at least water in there, because I don't want the pump to draw dry, I'm just going to take this, slip it down in here. Now what should happen, despite the water spilling, and I will get better with that, is I turn my pump on, and I will also need to have the faucet on. Alright, so this should start drawing water. This is exactly what I need it to do. And let me show you what would normally happen is if I was using antifreeze, I'd turn this water on, and when I see it come pink out of there, that's when I know the system has been antifreezed. Alright, so despite my water spillage, again, this is my first time doing this, I will get better with it. That works really well. It's going to save me a lot of money on antifreezing the system for next winter. And now the other thing is that I know that it will work fine is if I have this on the outside here, all I'll need to do is put that funnel in, pour some antifreeze to get down into the tank here. Alright, so when I'm done antifreezing, all I do is just take this, slip it down in there. I deliberately put that as an angle, as I said, so it's not putting any pressure on the system. I close this, and that's normal for this to swivel a little bit. And now I'll be ready to fill the tank. Alright folks, I made a huge mistake, and those of you who've done this before probably saw this coming. What didn't help, my bus was at an angle, but I thought that I had enough height that going from this down and then into here would be plenty enough water flow. However, between the bus angle and such a little angle here, because I have to, the way I have to fill it, I had to put the hose literally on a trickle method. Would have taken days to fill this. So I'm going to cover up this hole with some silicone sealant and a good piece of plastic. Make sure that that doesn't leak. I re-drilled the hole here, so now I have a direct water flow going down.